it's very important, and most important, and most beneficial to establish your private estate. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not even gonna tell you how. I mean, you can email me. You know, I deal in the private. I want to get too controversial on the show, even though I really don't care. But I just want to keep it simple because as I do shows and as I continue to study and as I continue to demonstrate and minister entities and do business, I forget that there are a lot of people who are tuning in to High Frequency Radio Network who have really kind of just started out. And I acknowledge that I may have, started at an understandable level, and maybe I kick it a little too technical sometimes. So I'm gonna speak of how when I came into this, the understanding of what's going on. So basically, it's this: the commercial realm as we know it has only existed in the United States for less than a couple hundred years or so. Honestly, the Uniform Commercial Code is relatively new. What is it? UPC labels, Universal Product. I can't remember what it stands for. But these labels, these barcodes, scanners, the whole system is relatively new. Whereas commerce itself is very, very old. But the system that we're utilizing right now is relatively new. Specifically, 2017? About 104 years ago. Am I tripping? Yeah, something like that. 1913, right? I'm going to keep it moving. The Internal Revenue Service, introduced two separate tax forms. There's the 1040 and the 1041. And if you ask me, one way of doing business was for the benefit of the family, and the other way of reporting income and doing business was for the benefit of the public, for the United States specifically. And it's all about what you knew. And if you didn't know, and you asked anyone in a public capacity, and they were honorable, they would steer you towards a public way of doing business because he works for the public and he understands that for him to continue having a job serving the public has to have need. People. The system of commerce and that we understand right now, the stock market, the NASDAQ, the Dow Jones Industrial Average, whatever. The way that commodities are priced, the London fix, which is a whole other topic, and I'm not going to digress because I would love to right now. I'm holding myself back. Stuff is relatively new, and the way of doing business is relatively new. And if you didn't know, the people who had an interest in this, we're not going to tell you because here the deal of it is I like to use the example of John D. Rockefeller. This man dropped out of school. I don't even think he had a high school education. But he created the steel industry as we know it, the oil industry as we know it. There's a rumor running around that he purchased a Japanese company and renamed it Sony and then sold it for a profit and kept it moving. And Sony actually stood for Standard Oil New York. I don't know. I wasn't alive then. Makes sense to me. Who knows? But these individuals created industries, commercial industries, in the public for the benefit of their private family estate. Hands down, period. When you talk about foundations, the Rockefeller Foundation, the Carnegie Foundation, the Mellon Foundation, the Mark Zuckerberg Foundation, the Clinton Foundation, all these foundations are family foundations. When you're dealing with mutual funds, so on and so forth, these entities are organized as private entities and they extend them into the public for the benefit of the family. They're making money off of ignorant people. Ignorant is lack of knowledge. Ignorance can be corrected. At one point in time, I was very ignorant to the way that I was doing business and handling money, allocating funds, so on and so forth. From a contemporary standpoint, with regards to those who have gone to colleges, degrees, obtained degrees from universities, and so on and so forth, what I was doing was normal. What all of us are really doing is normal. The real fight is, the contemporary fight is, how much money can you make per year? The real fight is, what do you do with the money that you make, and how much do you keep? And how much of it becomes and establishes intergenerational wealth. Now, when it comes to what's going on right now, I can guarantee you, if you have a job right now, I don't care if you're a contract worker, I don't care if you're a W-2 employee, I can guarantee you that your employer is making 3 times what you're making. So if you're making $10 an hour, your employer is making $30 an hour off of your labor. I can guarantee it. Otherwise, why would they employ you? Why are they going to hire somebody and give them all the money they're making off of it? It does not make sense. After benefits, insurance, whatever they're doing for you, sometimes you might get stock options. I don't know what you're getting. It has to make economic sense for that business to employ you and offer all of these incentives and benefits, which ultimately, if you reduce it and use deductive reasoning, you understand that you are not making all of the money off of your labor. You are not in 100% control of your time and your labor. You are not benefiting 100% or the most off of your labor. Period. Hands down. Now, with a corporation, I'm going to tell you this. I establish corporations, if I do, will establish a corporation for the benefit of my family, which means that the owner and shareholders is a private entity. And all of the profits are going that way, are going to the private. If you are working, you are a part of the system that was created among other people, John D. Rockefeller, a lot of these different names, DuPont, a lot of these different names, these family names that we're very familiar with because, we grew up in this country. And if you're not doing business for your family name, you're doing business for someone else's family name. I don't care what the actual name of the company is. If you go through enough paperwork and claim documents, you're going to find a family. And how is my family going to advance versus your family? Because, we're all the same. We created equal, right? I breathe, you can run. You can probably beat me in a race. I can beat you in chess. So what's the difference? If your family is in disarray and your family is vicariously, unbeknownst to you, working for my family, then my family is getting much further ahead of yours, much quicker. And that's what it is. So I just want to say, ultimately it's establishing your private family estate. You have a job that you obtained, you had to use an ID, driver's license, in a Social Security card, and you had to pass a drug test maybe. You had to do some references. But I don't care about all that. It was a driver's license and a Social Security card. You had to show them proof they made copies because they're withholding agents on behalf of the IRS. Your employees act as withholding agents. They're agents for the Internal Revenue Service in the withholding capacity. That driver's license says the state of whatever state that is, Louisiana, New Jersey, California, Florida. My homie says Florida. That's the state of. And the Social Security card is, Social Security Administration. Ultimately, that's the federal, United States federal. So you got the state and the federal. State document and the federal document. And because of those documents being used, I deduce that it's for the benefit of those, primarily for the benefit of those two entities, state entity and the federal entity. Neither one of them are in my family. You're withholding converted energy that belongs to me and not for my family. So I just want to illustrate what I found out and what I realized. And please understand, I was on a level that most people would say was very successful. I was doing business on a level that most people I know would love to be at that level. I was what you would call blessed. I was still a slave. I realized it. Ultimately, if we're doing business with the state, state federal entities, and we're using state federal documents to do business, I don't really see the benefit of the family. I see there's going to be a benefit for the state federal. And of course, they're going to derive that benefit. And it's due to them, obviously, because this is how it's being done. This is how it's being taught. And this is how we're never getting ahead. So I just want to let you know, you get 3 times whatever you make in an hour, at least, at the minimum. Minimum. It just does not make sense otherwise. A corporation cannot make a profit. How are you making a profit? Oh, they sold that for $100. How did they get that? Well, I made it. With your time and your labor? Yeah. Okay. To me, that, I don't know. So that's why I, here on the foundation, push for us to at least start your business tomorrow. Because when you start a business, that is for the benefit of your family. And you're already on the right track. Even if it's a home-based business, does not matter. Whatever you can do. That puts you in a position to where you're getting on the right side of the coin. Because employee, whether contract employee or W-2 employee, is not where we want to be. So we want to get into the position of doing business, really, hands down. And in order to do that, we need to start a business. But ultimately, it's for the private estate. So that is what we are establishing these commercial enterprises for, ultimately, is to grow and enhance our families. You can buy anything from a yard of dirt to some gold to cotton candy. Pretty much everything costs money. So, in order to grow the estate, we're going to need to convert our energy into something substantial that we can exchange for the things that we need. Right now, it just happens to be, Federal Reserve notes. That's cool, whatever. If we agree on it, you agree on it, I agree on it, I guess, whatever. Me personally, I don't like to too much do business with those. But it's what it is, and you have to go with the market. You have to go with what your customers are going with. Otherwise, your customers will move on. Such as United Airlines, their customers are starting to move on. They got really bad earnings reported. Their stock is dropping and dropping and dropping, which tells me, and if you're smart, United Airlines is more than likely not going to go out of business. They'll recover. Now's a good time to buy some stock if you're ever into buying paper assets. It's just, it's just a different way of looking at things. And the way I look at it, employee is the loser, and no matter where you're at, it's the loser. You have the least amount of things to do. Now, when you're an administrator of an estate, which, multiple entities within that estate, there's a lot of different things that you can do. One of them, the owner and shareholder of the corporation is a trust. You have to email me. I'm not going to go into the specifics. It's not that simple. I don't want to talk like stuff is simple. I think sometimes I speak and talk as those things are very simple. Like it's nothing. And I think that's maybe irresponsible. And I don't want to add to the irresponsibility on the airwaves with regards to these topics. The actual concept is simple, but the demonstrations can be difficult, to say the least. But these things happen every day. If you look into the Internal Revenue Service publication 15B for fringe benefits, it speaks on double taxation with regards to self-employment taxes and how to avoid employment taxes and what are fringe benefits and what employees can accept fringe benefits and what not. It's very important to notice that any owner of the business of more than 2% is excluded from a lot of benefits, fringe, and so on and so forth. Yeah. So another thing is, why wouldn't your trust be 98% owner and you be 2% owner then? I'm just saying. I don't know. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not giving you legal advice. Can't give you legal advice because I don't know how to give legal advice. Really. I know what I've done. I know what I think about. I know what I do. I know what can be done. I know what I've tried that didn't work. But, I'm not afraid to fail, so I don't really care. I really don't. The biggest thing is investing in your private education because you got to understand the public is not going to educate you on how to enhance your private lifestyle because the public is only interested in itself. Self-preservation is number one for anything that is living and dead, I guess, living through living things. Number one, I'm never going to give you my last dollar. Unless I know giving you this last dollar, I trust you. I know you or you have a reason or something like that. Like, why would I do that? That is irresponsible of me. Then you take that dollar, make $2, and then give you that dollar, and then now I have $1. You have $1. Now we're good. I think that's the most responsible way I can handle that. Like, oh, you need $1? Okay, I'm gonna go get you $1 then. But I gotta keep my $1. I'm going to go get you one. Here you go. It's not a problem for me. But investing in your private education is very important. It's very, very important. So that's why I say things like, go to highfrequencyradionetwork.com, go to the PDF section, and sit there. And maybe it's not that simple. Because, I know I had a different background coming into this information. I had a contract background at the very least, for sure. But, more than that. So I'm making it seem like, everything is easy and so on and so forth, but it's doable. How about that? It's doable. I had roaches in my house when I was in junior high, and I didn't let friends come over to my house because I was embarrassed. And I've also been in on yachts the size of mansions and gotten lost in it and felt completely comfortable. Obviously that's a span of multiple decades, but still, it's doable. I did it, and there's other people who didn't, but it's doable. Investing in your private education is important. Understanding how to do this, establishing your private estate is the most important. A trust never dies. So there's no probate. So there's no death. If the entity never dies, right, that means there's no death tax. It means there's nothing for me to inherit from my parents or something because It's already owned by the trust, and the trust doesn't die. So there's no inheritance tax. A prenuptial agreement is absolutely not necessary. You don't even have to worry about it. Once your private estate is established. I'm not talking about private estate with regards to secured party process or cashing your bond or capturing the straw man or strangling the straw man or stamping on the straw man or I'm not talking about none of that. Please understand. The commercial setup right now is against you. It's against all of us. There are numerous benefits from doing what you're doing right now differently. Doing the things that you do every day differently. The only thing that you'll have to do is study and learn, but we already did that because we all went to school at one point in our lives. And I feel like, the educational system is set up, you don't get nothing from learning. You only have to. I look at my daughter, I see how much time she invests in school. She doesn't even get paid for it, nothing, man. It's like a waste of investment. Learn how to be frustrated with getting a return on your time. Go to school. So when we think about learning, I think about the school, and when I think about the school, I didn't really like the curriculum. I didn't really like it. Was boring. It didn't really benefit me. I can think about the school. There's a lot of stuff I don't even use. I'm glad I did the math. There's a lot of things I'm glad I did the art, so on and so forth. But man, there's some of them countries I had to memorize. I ain't never be there. I ain't gonna go there. There's some things that they need, and I feel like it kind of jaded my perception on learning for a while because I didn't see a benefit. But I guarantee you invest in the private education with regards to administering your affairs properly, doing business from a private aspect in conjunction with your public business, it's definitely going to pay off. Your life will change. I know I speak on, how to put some of the liabilities of you personally onto your business. Using the fringe benefits publication, using business credit, buying toilet paper, using business credit, and then paying for it, and how it establishes a positive credit profile, how to change over your cell phone account to your business, because every time you pay the cell phone bill, it establishes a positive credit profile for the business. It doesn't do that for individuals. There are so many benefits from doing what you're already doing right now differently. I could probably do a whole show on it. I'm not gonna say I couldn't do a whole show. So I wanted to keep it simple on this episode of The Foundation. I wanted to keep it real, kind of thin, meat and potatoes type stuff, and just not so much talk about the entities, the numbers, and the statuses, and the entity classifications, and the jurisdictions, and the duality of blah, blah, blah. I don't really want to talk. I want to talk about why. Why is it? Why do I need to invest in my private education? So, why? How is it going to benefit me? You're going to keep more of your money. You're going to get more of the value of your energy and your time. You're going to control more of it. You're going to have more opportunities, more options, and there are more ways of doing things with regards to your private estate than there are with doing, even with LLCs, man. All these things work in tandem. They work in series. They work in conjunction. And anything that's public facing, if it's set up correctly, there's a trust behind it, hands down. You go far enough back, It's a trust. You go far enough back after that, even though it's non-disclosure and it's private, there's a family estate. There's a family there. And that's what it's all about. Me personally, when I'm old, I don't want my children to have to worry about paying for all this stuff. I'm just going to be taken care of because it's trust. When I pass, I'm going to spend all my money. All of it. Well, you're selfish, so yes, I am. I like to be selfish sometimes. I'm not leaving any money to my children. None. But I'll tell you this, when I pass, there's going to be insurance policies in place. And those insurance policies are going to fund specific entities that are private. And please believe those entities are going to be controlled by my heirs. So, yeah, I'm going to be selfish. Investing in your private education allows you to be selfish because you have the education and the means to think from a standpoint of limitlessness, because there's more options available to you. It takes out frustration in your life. I'm frustrated every day because I feel like I'm going to work every day and I'm barely getting anywhere. I have children. I'm not even doing what I'm supposed to be doing for my children. I got my girl. I'm not even treating my girl the way I want to be treating my girl, my wife, daughter, husband, whatever. It all rotates around exchange of your energy for value so that we can distribute this value to the people that we love, the things that we appreciate and enjoy doing so that it can enrich our lives. I'm tired of being mad every day. I'm tired of having this short fuse. I'm tired of snapping on everyone I love and feeling bad about it afterwards because it's not that I'm not happy with them. I'm just not happy with me. I'm expending all this energy. I'm sitting in traffic. I'm on the bus. I'm dealing with so-and-so in my face. And then the crazy dude is talking about trees and plants and wookie-woos. I don't even know what a wookie-woo is, but I got to be on the bus going to this stupid job I don't even like. And I'm just not happy. Do something different. It's time to invest in our private education. It's time, time for us to stop pointing at people and blaming them, saying it's your fault. I've been doing that for so long. Where has it gotten me? I'm in the same position. All the things that I do that add up day to day, week to week, month to month, year to year have gotten me here. And I need to do something different. I need to do something different. I'm tired. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of these roaches. I'm tired. If that's how you feel, or you feel remotely like that, put down OIDs and straw mans and put it down and learn. Learn how to do business. Understand that your family is a business. Understand the family trust, contractual obligations, food, clothing, shelter, education, healthcare, contractual. Article 1, Section 10, in part states no state shall pass any law impairing the obligation of contracts. Get knowledge. Get on your game. Let's do this. I'm doing it right now. It's not hard. I'm one of the hoodest dudes. I mean, come on, I can get hood. I'm articulate. I'm smart. I've been to school. I've been around money. I have money. Come on, man. Y'all can hear it in my voice. I know you can. And I feel like that's part of the reason why, I get so much love. I'm one of the realest cats I know, and I did it. And I know coming up, I saw a lot of punks making it, fake people, liars, so on and so forth. It seemed like everybody but me had money. Everybody but me had status. Everybody but me, and the type of person I was in the position or the car or whatever that I wouldn't mind being in. Not that I'm hating on them or want to be them, because that's never that. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be soaked. But it seemed like everyone, all the type of people that I wasn't even cool with or would associate with, was in the positions that I wanted to be in. I think that's another thing. Like, only boy heads get bread. Stupid people get rich. I'm not stupid. I ain't rich though, I guess. So I guess rich is, relative. Just invest in your private education. The establishment of your private estate is paramount. Paramount. That's how you live forever. It's how you reach through the ages and you can essentially touch every single generation after you in a positive way. It takes effort, it takes time, but you never have the time if you don't take the time. Right? So I believe in you, straight up. I 100% believe in you. I know you can do it. And it just takes time. Just, go easy on yourself. It takes time. But understand that all this stuff in the public, when you're doing it right, it's connected to the private, period. And if anyone tells you anything else is bogus, they're trying to sell you something. And I'm your brother. I ain't trying to sell you nothing. I'm trying to plug you. So no matter what your company's doing, and when a corporation, I've read the Internal Revenue Service publication. After all the expenses, it's up. All the rest of the money is up for corporate taxation. If you commingle the funds of the corporation, that corporation will be taxed to you individually. I mean, there's a lot of rules. And all the profits are going to be lost to taxes. Apple, its taxable income, it passes on to its shareholders. If you own Apple shares, you get money, you got to put that on your individual tax return. So Apple doesn't pay taxes. They pass the taxable income on to the shareholders. Think about it. The majority shareholder is what? Of Apple. The majority shareholder is what? in what is it? Facebook. Majority shareholder is what? Microsoft. Majority shareholder is what? Man, what did that dude Bill Gates do? He titled his shares to Microsoft in the name of his foundation, and then did the largest distribution in the history of Microsoft. The largest shareholder distribution. I mean, I'm laughing because I'm sorry. Because, I ain't trying to come off as pejorative. It's all right there. It's all right in front of us, man. I'm one of these cats. Maybe I play devil's advocate. Maybe I play it sometimes a little too much. But I'm the cat that's like, man, hey, you the one that went over there talking stuff to dude, and he punched you in the face. Don't come over here crying. I saw it. Like, I'm that dude. I might be your boy, but I'm going to tell the truth. You know what I mean? I might wait until everybody's gone and then tell you it would just be me and you, but I'm going to tell you, man. Like, look, man, you ran over there, you know what I'm saying? You did that. I saw you. You can tell them cats whatever, but between me and you know what you did. You know what you did. That's me. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I know my people, we point fingers. I point fingers. But I know I did it, though. And I'm just trying to, put it down for y'all again, on the foundation, lay it down on how I see it really being. It's on us. And it's on us to invest in our private education because we already got a public education. Period. It's like the public education is the daytime, it's easy. The private education is the nighttime. You need to do extra stuff. You need headlights or a lamp. You can't just be, you know what I'm saying? You can run in your yard in the daytime and then try that at night. You're going to step in that hole that, you can get tore off. So it just takes, a little extra effort and caution and care. But it's easily done. We navigate in that all the time now. Like it's nothing. So think about that. That's a great analogy. I'm going to bring it to the phone lines in a minute. I apologize for last show. It was weird. Look, stuff on Blog Talk has been weird. It hasn't been as weird as the first time I had, the credit guru, Brother Teron L. from Upland Credit on, but it's been weird. So last week the show ended. That wasn't me. brother, what was his name? I was trying to remember your name, man. From Utah. I think he was from Utah. He had called in. He was asking a question. I was going to answer your question, bro. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hang up on you. I'm not that type of dude. The show just ended. I don't know what happened. You tell me what happened. But it's being weird, so I'm going to go to the phone line. You know, had a lot of callers. I wasn't even able to get to all the callers last week. But, you know, it's all love, right? So, you know, 424-222-5250 is the number to call. And you press 1 on your keypad, and I can see you in the switchboard. I can pull you in. Also, you're 563-999-3625. You know, high frequency, we got, you know, they gave us 2 numbers over here on Blog Talk. 2 of them. So, you know, phone lines are open. But, man, I feel like I'm forgetting something, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm probably not. And I hate dead air when, you know, cats be on there and just be quiet. You don't know if the show ended, especially after last week. But invest in your private education at the end of the day. That's all I'm saying. You know, I can't say that enough. You can hit me up, admin at welcometothefoundation.com. I do business in the private. I am here to assist. A workman is worthy of their hire. I don't want to mislead anyone. You know, my charity is the show that I do, and the emails I send out, email list, and, you know, so on and so forth, and the stuff I get for free. And I like to think that, you know, I jump on here and I'll be, you know, like I say, I'll step on toes. You know, I disseminate a lot of information that would otherwise be charged for, because I think it's bogus. And I ain't down with that. You know, with the funniness. Plus, y'all my people. So 424-222-5250. Hey, hold on. What's going on with this? See? Here go Blog Talk, y'all. 908-0419. Peace. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Peace. It's JB. Just hanging here with the Wookie Woos.
With the Wookie Woos, yeah.
Oh, man.
Yep.
Great show, brother.
That's us right now. Man, thank you, man. Appreciate it. What do you think, man? I know you got something to add, man. Go ahead, man.
No, I mean, I think you're on point about the private education and just advancing it yourself. I think that one of the biggest problems, I think, is people think, especially someone who say they went to, you know, college and maybe got their MBA and are still struggling, but those people think that they went to school. They did it already. You know, they almost resent the idea of having to, you know, get an education different from the one they thought it was supposed to pay off. But I think that this all comes down to I think the generalization is we've been conned into thinking like paper is worth more than us, whether it's fucking Federal Reserve notes or a degree or a birth certificate or anything. Like, I mean, and I think that's the biggest spell of all. That I think this is all created to make most people forget that they're creators, that they're the value.
Yeah.
And I don't know, but you drop a lot of dots that people need to connect, especially a lot of stuff you were talking about in your current events. Like, I understand why you feel those are important to report on, because I don't know, big change is only big change for people not paying attention.
Right. Yep. And everything's magic when you see it the first time, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Everything is a surprise when you see it the first time. Everything's magic. Like, wow, ooh, what? You know?
Right. But I just consider myself very lucky to have found mentors like you guys, because very honorable dude, and so the people you associate with, and that's valuable. that's valuable.
Yeah, likewise, brother. I appreciate it. I mean,
Thank you.
I'm tired. I'm tired of dealing with fools. Foodie, what do you call them? I call them tomfooleries and Michael
Tomfoolery. Tom.
and the Michael bluffers. Yeah, I got you. I'll be right there. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Yeah, but at one time I did this, man. I'm just tired of dealing with the fake and the whack. And even though it does, not shorten, but necessarily, but make the circle smaller, it does make it more conducive to, I think, realistic living and realistic expectations with regards to the people that you're dealing with and how you respect them and how they respect you. So, that's what I look for, man. And I care about myself. I understand my value. And I'm just not about that funny stuff. I got better things to do.
Absolutely not.
And tomorrow's not promised, and you could be wasting the rest of my time. Like, that's how I feel,
That's it. Nah, that's it, man. You absolutely. It's everyone's living for something else, or we're talking about like the good old days, and like, what about right now? Like, what's so wrong with right now? And I think that's true, and I think the people listening, like, really should take heed of, like, you guys are presenting something tangible, and a lot of the stuff out there is it's chasing phantoms, like to tilting at windmills, and I mean we all studied this. We know there's a degree of it that it's true for what it's worth, but it's also it's also there to, like I said, mess with you and what you guys are. But all the people that set this up, they're practicing what you're teaching. They're not,
right.
I don't know. Like, if you have all this stuff, if you've built all this, like, what do you care about accessing funds that may or may not belong to you, but you didn't produce, and they're not even real funds. They're not even paper. They're numbers in a computer right now. I mean, it's bizarre. It's like really bizarre that people want to. I mean, I guess it's not that bizarre because I can understand that people feel like they've worked and like nothing's come of it. But you said it, man. The employee is the loser. It's not I don't mean that to be a dick, but like that's what I realized when I got into this and started studying and making a few moves. Like, I was like, all right, well, if I'm working for somebody else, like if I tell myself I'm working for somebody else at least, then no matter how much I'm making, somebody else decided that. Someone else decided what I'm worth. They can decide if I'm worth more. They can decide if I'm worth less, and then they can decide if I'm not worth anything at all anymore. And I even went beyond that, and the truth of that is that just comes from me bullshitting myself, because you're always working for you. Like what you said before about being selfish. Well, if you're not selfish, you can't help anybody else, because you're not even trying to help yourself. And for me, I just realized, like, no matter what, you're working for yourself. If you're working for somebody else, then you've made it okay for yourself. You're going to put yourself to work for somebody else, but you're always working for you. It's always you. And I don't know. I think that's. And that might be hard for.
Hold on, man. You said put yourself to work for yourself. Hold on. Put yourself to work for someone else for yourself. So, like, I'm not gonna work for myself, but I'm gonna work for someone else to work for myself and get less. Yeah. That's crazy. I like that.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Thank you, brother.
I mean, I don't like it, but I like the way you put that. Yeah.
I guess.
That's interesting.
Self-accountability. I mean, we're always working for ourselves, even when we decide to quit. Working for ourselves. We decide to leave. Obviously, we're working for ourselves. If we weren't, we couldn't quit. Stay. But,
so,
I mean...
I like that. So instead of working for myself, I'm working for someone else to work for myself and get less.
Correct. Yep.
That's interesting.
And that was and that's a pill to swallow. I get it, but it's the truth. And the truth is, like, some people say, like, the truth is hard to swallow. And I think that's not true. I think the truth is always infinitely more hard to swallow than when you're swallowing BS. But the analogy I would use is that we taste so little of the truth that the truth just has we're not used to the taste. So really, it's the truth can sometimes, I feel like, take some getting used to, but it's never hard to swallow. In fact, once you're used to it, you're like, wow, how did I swallow that other thing for so long?
Yeah. Yep.
But
it's like
I don't want to clog up the line. Oh, go on, bro. Sorry.
It's like what is it? What is it? One of those genetically modified strawberries versus an organic strawberry. You can taste the difference if you do it side by side.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And you realize how bad the other strawberry was.
That's right.
It's worse what we're doing right now. Working a job. It's worse what we're doing right now. It's all we know, and we're really far into it. We've invested a lot into it, but it's worse what we're doing to ourselves right now. Working jobs and working for other corporations versus figuring out how to work for ourselves. It's worse for us. It definitely is. Oh, and on the point that you were making about earlier, I was the MBA or whatever. I was consulting locally, so where I live. This gentleman, this European guy, he had a girlfriend. She was an attorney, but he was looking to establish a trust and establish an LLC, locally in the state jurisdiction, and have them set up properly. So I took care of that, but there was some banking documents that he needed. And, I got into him and everything. I remember thinking, like, man, your girlfriend's an attorney. Why do you need me? This is back, when I first started doing this. I wasn't really confident in what I know and how powerful it was. I mean, I knew what I knew. I hadn't demonstrated yet, so I hadn't showed and proved yet. But I remember, and I always tell everybody, like, I came back from overseas and I talked to several statutory attorneys, bar card attorneys, looking at setting up a trust, and they were all telling me that they dissolve after 12 years. So, but this is kind of before I didn't know. So this guy wanted to get this stuff set up, and anyway, I remember telling him, attorneys don't like me because during me, talking to these other attorneys, I was asking the questions, and they would usually like stand up, hand me their card, and tell me to have a good day. Basically get out of here. We're done with you. And I was like, well, attorneys don't like me. And I remember his girlfriend turned to me and said, yeah, because you know how to do our job better than us. And I remember how significant that was in my life. I was like, I just had an attorney. And I was kind of joking. I was like, they don't like me, they asked me to leave. But I never, she gave a whole different reason. Of course, that's his girlfriend. She's an attorney. He's showing her everything. But I'm just imagining, like, what is she thinking, to say something like that to me? And that's because I invested in my private education, period. I have attorneys who tell me they don't like me because I do their job better than them. You know what I mean? And attorneys, check this out, they get so far in school, they're so invested, they're in debt, and they have a bar card, so they're stuck.
Yep.
They can't do what I can do. So
they pledge.
Invest in the private education. That's what I'm saying. Invest. Invest in establishing your private estate. I think it's very, very important. Paramount. I'm telling you, I'm not lying to you. I'm not lying.
It's funny you say that.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, because I got, like, one of my real close friends. His family owns a bunch of car dealerships. They got millions of dollars, and I was like, talking. I'm very close to them. I was talking to his father, and who was an accountant, by the way, before he started the car dealerships. And I was explaining what I'm learning, what I'm into, what I'm setting up, and he was like, well, you think you could like show me help me set that up? Like I definitely like take care of you. And I told him like and I was like once I got mine running the way I want it, I'm sure that I can help you the way you need with absolute confidence. I'll be there. But like that it made me think like everyone's trying to get all this other stuff, but this it's more than just you do this for you and your family, but it's a skill in itself. It's so rare that you don't think I mean I saw then just that even just doing this, just helping other people attain that is a living, and that is and that shows something. You're some guy. He was a very successful CPA, and now he runs these huge corporations, and
he's asking you for help. Right.
It definitely. And hey, another thing I have to be grateful for you guys for. But yeah, man, it's people need to start putting more faith in themselves, not in a piece of paper with their name on it. But
or these people running around with suits trying to look more important than you, attempting to stand in a position as if they know more than you and they're in a better position than you, and really they're just bluffing. 9 times out of 10, I go and do some business, and I'll be like, yo, can we do this? And they'll say no. 9 times out of 10, they don't know how to do it. They never heard it, so they're just going to say no. Like, you don't even know what you're talking about. You didn't even look in the manual. Like, what do you mean? No. Can I talk to your manager? And then they get all weird and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because they're like, well, maybe I could have just lied to him, and I might get in trouble. He's going to see my manager. But off top, they're like, no, you can't do that. Like, man, what? Look, what? It's just hilarious to me. It's hilarious. Well, JD, man, thank you, man. Appreciate you, man. Man, you rocking every show. Brother. I appreciate you.
I love it. Thank you so much, brother.
One of the homies, man. Thanks for calling in and asking the show, man. Peace. I'll talk to you soon. You know what it is.
Absolutely, brother. Peace.
718-4911. Peace.
Hey, peace, OL. How you doing?
What's the deal?
Yeah, what? Dal from Brownsville. That's me.
Yeah. All right. What's up, Dal? How you doing?
I'm all right. How you doing?
Man, I'm feeling good, man. I don't know if you can tell, man. I'm in a good mood right now. I'm feeling really good.
That's good. I'm on the phone. I'm actually merged with my sister for the call. Yvette, ask him to call. Right now, her phone acting funny, so you only get these calls. So
God bless you, Slowdown. How are you, sir?
I'm well, Sister Yvette. How you doing?
Blessed and highly favored. I want to know which one is better for you to start off with, an estate or a trust?
Well, here, let me be specific, and I'm glad you asked that question, because I want to be very specific with regards to an estate and what an estate is. An estate basically means all your stuff. So, in my opinion, the estate includes all of the entities, the business trust, family trust, asset protection trust, charitable trust, all the trust within the family is the entire estate, so all of your stuff. So in probate court, when you go on when a person dies intestate, which basically means they didn't have a will, and the estate comes in to probate the estate, what they're doing is probating all of that person's stuff and determining where all the stuff goes and where it doesn't go. So an estate is your stuff. So to begin an estate, you need an entity, usually a family trust. Is how people start off, but you begin to you start your estate and then enhance it through entities, valuables, real property, personal property, investments, businesses, so on and so forth, for the benefit of the beneficiary. So, in investing in your private education, you are establishing and beginning to establish your estate, and using that knowledge further establishes your estate, and as you establish entities to capture wealth for the benefit of the beneficiaries, you are further establishing the estate. So there it is.
Okay, thank you so much. So I got a clue now. Just stay encouraged, stay encouraged, stay encouraged. All will be well just now. Thank you so much for answering that. Peace to the community. God bless you and your family, your loved ones, and don't get discouraged. Keep doing what you do because it's all going to pay off in the long run. Like you said, sometimes you get frustrated when you're working for people, but when you start working for yourself, there's a better reward. It just prepares you for your own.
I ain't playing y'all my bosses when it comes to foundation. When it comes to the foundation, my bosses is y'all. So I work for y'all. I got the best bosses on the planet. So thank you. Thank you very much.
All right.
Yeah, I'm still here, so I had to do a three-way call because my sister's phone, she on the receive call right now to she get some things straightened out. Yeah.
I know that area of frustration, so I know.
No problem.
Never a problem. I know you got you're gonna talk over 9:30. I'm gonna let you take the next call. All right, so L and peace and love.
All right, brother. I appreciate it.
God bless you. Peace to the community.
Thank you, Sister Yvette.
Okay.
Peace to you.
Amen.
Peace, y'all. All right. 609-3782. Peace. What's your name? Where you calling from? You dropped the phone, man? Oh. Got disconnected. Hey, if you can hear me, 609, you can call back. You got like 5 minutes. So you good. I would like to take this opportunity to digress a little bit. I mean, coming towards the end of the show, we got 5 minutes left in the stream. Last time, from what I understand, it ended at the stream. So that might happen again. I'm going to try to go over. Usually, Blog Talk lets you go over after the stream or whatever. I don't know what happened last time, but that was the first time that happened from what I understand. So I'm going to try to keep it moving. 609, I see you. Peace. Real quick, let me say this real quick. I don't mean to be disrespectful. Please, I hope no one took anything that I've said during this show as disrespectful. We all have jobs. We all have bosses. We all have to work. And that's the way it is. And I'm not trying to be insensitive to your situation or rub it in or stun on anyone or nothing. All I'm trying to say is how easily done it is to get to a position of more independence. And like the brother JB said, a lot of this stuff has us set up and messed up to believe that we are not the creators and that these jobs and the government's creating jobs and all this stuff. We don't need the government to create jobs, man. We can create our own jobs. We can go out and see that there's a need and fill that need and charge a fee for it. And I think that's where we need to get. Our people were very ingenious, intuitive, and I think it's just time that, I really think it's just time. I think it's time for us to do something different. So I'm going to go to the next caller. Oh, hold on. Man, I swear Blog Talk. I mean, we got to pay for this too. 609-3782. Peace. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Peace to the gods. It's ZL calling north of the Allegheny Appalachian. Just another headbanging show. I appreciate your encouragement on how creative we can be, brother. So how are you this evening?
Hey, Zed, man. I'm doing very well, man. I'm doing great. How are you, brother? Thanks for calling in.
I'm excellent. Shalom, and I really appreciate the time that you've dedicated to give to the public on this level. And you're right. The initiative is within us. Creativity is within us. As a matter of fact, I spent part of the day trying to come up with a no harm opportunity for the public where no one is affected, whether they're using oil-based products or anything that evolves around using oil, like petroleum, like plastics. So I'm trying to dig deep within, and I'm asking the great creator that bestowed that, as I was made in its image, to let me create something that causes no harm, that's beneficial to more than just myself. And it's going to come. So your message was clear today. I appreciate JB's input as well. But that's about all I have to say, and I appreciate the time that you give the public, brother. I really, really do. Okay?
Man, I appreciate you, man. You know.
Appreciate you more.
I've known you for a while, man. We still doing it, Zach. We still moving.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Absolutely, man.
I can't wait
man.
for the opportunity. It's all good. It's all good.
You can't wait for the what?
I can't wait for the opportunity to come to where we can break bread and you can revisit the Bat Library. There's been some new additions.
Yeah, I mean, hey y'all, the brother got a law library out this world. So, I mean, yeah, that was one of the illest libraries I've seen from one of my people, and yeah, man, serious props for that. That library was nice.
Well, according to the law that's laid down for us, there's no application. It's a waste of space back here. So, this is my private investment into my private education. You know, I can only get out of it what I put into it, and I'm only following the leader. That's all. Very simple.
I bear witness. I bear witness, man. I had to board.
Thank you for letting me share, man. Yes, sir.
Appreciate you, man. Peace. Have a great evening. I'll talk to you soon.
Too, sir. Thank you.
Peace.
Peace.
She said 30 seconds. So Blog Talk, they got this British chick that come into your headphones and tell you how much time is left. Just in case the show ends in 20 seconds. Admin at welcometothefoundation.com to hit me up. Welcometothefoundation.com. She just said 10 seconds. Welcometothefoundation.com. You can add yourself to the email list. The site's being built. Just be patient. I do this for y'all. Are we still here? We still here. It works. Hold on. Oh. I don't think I got disconnected. I'm assuming people can still hear me. So, yeah, I'm just going to close out the show, I guess. Welcome to thefoundation.com. Definitely sign up for the email list. Go to highfrequencyradionetwork.com. Check out the PDF section. I learned a lot in that PDF section. I'm not playing with you. There was a portion of the time when I was studying where I had a 9 to 5, and I got on their Wi-Fi network and was using their printer up in the offices, and I was printing all that stuff. Yo, I don't even feel bad because I know they was making 3 times what I was making off my own labor, man. Yo, look, I probably should say on the air, man, because people might be listening, but yo, I print a lot. I mean, man, not everybody's going to have access to something like that. But, you can download it. You can read it on your phone. You can read it on your, Kindles and iPads and so on and so forth. Even if you only read it for, 9 minutes, 10 minutes a day. I think it's important. So, invest in your private education. And, stick with us. highfrequencyradionetwork.com. Welcome to thefoundation.com, High Frequency Radio Network. Definitely, we're going to keep it moving. And, I love doing this. And like I said, y'all my boss, and I do this for you. So, hit me up, admin at welcometothefoundation.com. I'm open for suggestions. Cuss me out. I'm going to find a blessing in it. Either a blessing or a lesson. Appreciate y'all every single show. I appreciate y'all regular callers, JB, Daryl from Brownsville, Sister Yvette, and everyone else, man. Y'all have a great rest of your week. It's hump day. It's almost over. Enjoy your weekend. Catch me next week here on The Foundation. Peace, y'all.
Doing this thing all the way live. High Frequency Radio.